Hey guys, welcome back. I'm over here back at EPCOT today, formerly known as EPCOT Center, because I kind of want to talk to you guys about the old Future World, old EPCOT Future World, because it was really focused on those Future World pavilions. Now, not so much, is kind of losing that, but that's what I wanted to do today, to talk to you guys about those pavilions. And I have a map right now on my phone from EPCOT in 1990 or 1989, but it has all of the Future World pavilions that I really want to talk about and explain, because these were kind of a big part of EPCOT back in the day, but not so much today. And I was here earlier today and I recorded a history video all about Club 33, Disney's secret club. And yeah, I went over to where the Club 33 location is here at EPCOT. So if you guys haven't checked that out already, go ahead and go check that out. And of course, since I'm here at EPCOT, that means I have to continue my EPCOT World Showcase food adventure sort of thing that I'm doing. I started it a couple weeks ago. I came over here and I had a snack over in Canada. So every time I come to EPCOT, I'm gonna get one snack from a country, and I'm gonna make it all around the World Showcase eventually. And so since we did Canada last time, this time it's the UK, so I'm a little bit excited to see what kind of snacks they have. I'm not actually sure where they're gonna have like these little snacks over here in the UK. I guess I'll have to come in each one of these shops. This one's the sportsman shop. Not sure if they'll have any snacks in here. Yeah, definitely no snacks in here. This is just shirts, sports shirts. Okay guys, excuse the loud music going on over here in the UK, but just across from the sportsman's shop, I found where the snacks are. It's over here in the Queen's table. And just like I said the last time, if there's any snacks in here that you see that you want me to try that I didn't get today, leave them in the comments below, and the next time I come to EPCOT, I'll get that. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of cookies in here. These are called digestives. That's kind of weird. I have no idea what a digestive is. Ginger nut? I don't know. We got Jammy Dodgers raspberry flavored shortcake cookies. Got some toffee over here, some English toffee. Have all of these Mickey shortbread cookies. Chewy buttery caramels covered in milk chocolate. That sounds good. But I'm trying to get something that I normally really wouldn't get, but it sounds a little bit good. I'm not going to get something that sounds really gross to me though, like black licorice. And I'm not getting any black licorice. Here's a little overview of, what is this, Mars? This is a popular candy bar over in the UK. We got some peanut buttery type stuff, but just a bunch of cookies and a bunch of chocolate. Also jelly babies, I guess that's what they call jelly beans or whatever in the UK. Caramel wafer biscuits, that sounds really good. Now I do know that in the UK they like chocolate and orange together, which is right here, the Jaffa cakes. I tried chocolate and orange at Disney Springs the other day and I hated it, so yeah, no chocolate orange for me. Yeah, the UK just basically has like the same things as America, it's just called different things. So I made it out of that store. I got me a little table over here overlooking World Showcase Lagoon, and here's what I got. I got the caramel wafer biscuits, real milk chocolate from Tunix, or yeah, I think that's how you say it. And I went ahead and got me the digestives. The guy said that there's nothing to do with the like cookies, how it's going to make your stomach feel, or if it helps digest your food. That's just what the name is called, so pretty strange, but yeah, whatever. I'm gonna try these first. 3 cookies, it was like $1.49 or something. It tastes exactly like an animal cracker, like those Grams animal crackers. That's what it tastes like. That's all those are, just regular little cookies. Now let's try these milk chocolate caramel wafer biscuits. I'm excited about these ones. These were $4.95. Pretty good. Tastes just like kind of how I expected. Nothing too great, nothing bad. Just a little wafer cookie. It's a little, I thought it was gonna be more crunchy though. It's like a little bit, I don't know if it's stale or if that's how it's supposed to be. It doesn't have like a real crunch. Pretty decent snacks. I'm gonna eat these digestives right now. I'm gonna save those milk chocolate wafers for later because they're like kind of melting right now. But yeah, Canada has the UK beat right now. Those maple syrup cookies were really good. But yeah, now I'm headed over to Future World. so here I am, I made it to Future World, right over here by the Imagination Pavilion. And the reason I wanted to make this video is because I'm gonna start doing a thing where I'm like gonna pick a year, a certain year in time, and I'm gonna go back to that year for a certain park. So say I wanna go back to 1984 in the Magic Kingdom. I'll do that and I will tell you guys everything that was in that park on that specific year. So this is kind of like an introduction or kind of like a warm-up to that, sort of. I'm not doing all of EPCOT. I'm only going to be telling you guys about the Future World pavilions that were here in 1989. But I picked 1989 because I feel like that was one of the years where EPCOT was really at its peak, especially here in Future World. So in the early days of EPCOT, there was originally 9 pavilions over here in Future World, and they represented 9 different things. They were communication, innovation, energy, transportation, ecosystems and nutrition, creativity and imagination, the ocean, the body, and the future. Okay, let's talk about the Imagination Pavilion right here a little bit. It was opened in 1983 and its theme was creativity and, of course, imagination. This pavilion right here has gone through a lot of change, and a lot of people hate the changes that have happened to this pavilion. This pavilion opened with the ride that a lot of people really loved, and now there's a ride that a lot of people really hate. The original ride was called The Journey into Imagination, and it was like a slow moving ride, and it featured 2 characters called the Dream Finder and Figment. And then for some reason in 1998 they closed the ride and replaced it with a attraction called Journey into Your Imagination, and people hated this ride. They just hated it so much. And then later on they open it now into what it is today. It's called Journey into Imagination with Figment. And over here at the Imagination Pavilion, there's actually, right now it's a Pixar and Disney short film festival, but this has been many things. Back in the day it was Captain EO starring Michael Jackson. It's been Honey, I Shrunk the Audience. So yeah, this pavilion has changed a lot on the inside. It's changed its attraction a couple times, but the outside is really pretty much stayed the same. I mean, these jumping fountains are still here, which are awesome. The upside down waterfall is still here. Yes, this waterfall is upside down. Now before I head on into the land to tell you guys about this, right here in between the land and the Imagination Pavilion, there was actually supposed to be another pavilion right in here. It was supposed to be all about the movies, and that eventually turned into the Great Movie Ride, which eventually turned into Disney MGM Studios, now known as Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I talked about all of this history in my History of the Great Movie Ride video. You can check that out on my channel. And so right here is the Land Pavilion, which is a original pavilion over here at EPCOT, and it is dedicated to agriculture and food technology. There's 2 attractions set aside here right now, Living with the Land and Soarin'. And originally, before Soarin', there was a show called Kitchen Cabaret, which was later replaced by Food Rocks. It was an audio animatronic show that taught everybody all about food pretty much. And then Living with the Land was originally called Listen with the Land, and it's pretty much the same ride except of having a recording like you do now. There was an actual cast member on there who did a spiel. And then of course the last pavilion over here in Future World West is the Seas with Nemo and Friends Pavilion, but originally this was called the Living Seas Pavilion. And when it opened in 1986, it actually had the world's largest aquarium. In here right now, you may know that there is the Seas with Nemo and Friends, the ride, which is actually what the pavilion is called right now. But before that ride was here, the ride was actually called the Sea Cabs, which was an omni-mover ride just like it is now, which took you through the hydrolators to Sea Base Alpha. And the theme of this pavilion, learning about the seas, because I know a lot of people are scared of the ocean, learning all about fishes and all the marine life. But even though it has a name change and the IP attached to it, I think the Seas Pavilion right here actually does stay true to its original goal. Now, as some of you may know, Future World has Future World East over here and then Future World West over here, and in between the two, it right now is Innoventions East and West. But originally, before these were Innoventions, they were called Communica. And so right here on either side, the Communica was a pavilion that had changing exhibits that had technology sponsored by private companies. and the theme of it was innovation. Like today it's called Innoventions. And the original focus of Communicore was to educate guests about computers. The main exhibit of Communicore was actually a tour through the EPCOT Computer Central, which was the computer hub of EPCOT that ran pretty much everything in the park. But now Innoventions is just a shell of what it used to be. It's basically just a very small place. This place used to be huge with Innoventions East and West, Communicore East and West, and now it's literally just right here into that corner. And back here you can actually see what used to be it. There was this ride called Sum of All Thrills, which you would basically just create your own roller coaster. But now it's all blocked off, and yeah, this is the pavilion in Future World that has really been hit the hardest. It's not doing too well. And the rumor actually is that Innoventions West over here is going to be destroyed. Club Cool, Starbucks, the character spot are all gonna get new locations, and yeah, not too sure what's coming in its place, but rumor is that it will be destroyed. And then we make our way over into Future World East. Right here, all the way to the left, is the Universe of Energy Pavilion. Well, what used to be the Universe of Energy Pavilion. Right now it is under construction to make way for the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster. But like the name says, this pavilion's theme was all about energy. And originally, the Universe of Energy Pavilion, it was a moving theater that could take up to 80 people through the pavilion, and it was primarily focused on fossil fuels and renewable energy. And then, as you might know, in 1989, the original ride closed to make way for Alan's Energy Adventure, in which Alan and Bill Nye the Science Guy would take you back to the age of the dinosaurs, tell you all about energy, tell you about fossil fuels, renewable energy, solar power, stuff like that, wind power. So basically this ride was here to teach you basically how to use energy wisely and not destroy the planet. Right here we have the Wonders of Life Pavilion, which is actually one of the latest pavilions to open. It opened in 1989. The theme of this pavilion was all about life, health, and the human body. Right here on the outside of the pavilion used to be a large structure, which was like a DNA kind of structure, and it said Wonders of Life at the top. But it's since removed, but it's kind of cool how they kept this little thing right here which used to hold it up. And inside of the pavilion was EPCOT's first thrill ride. Actually, it was basically a Star Tours type ride simulator, which you would go into a little ship and you would shrink super small down size, and you would go through the human body and basically have an adventure through the human body. Use the same technology, the same ride vehicle as Star Tours. And that ride was called Body Wars, and there was also a couple other attractions. There was the Cranium Command, the Fitness Fairgrounds, and Goofy About Health. And Cranium Command got a lot of attention this past year, although it's been closed for a really long time, all because of the buzzy audio animatronic. And if you know that story, then you know I'm not going to get into it right here, but yeah, that got a lot of attention this past year. But this pavilion was the only pavilion that I have never got to experience. I came to EPCOT before it closed in 2007, but for some reason I do not remember going in there. I might have, but I don't remember. I really would have liked to come into this pavilion because my degree, my profession is about the human body. So yeah, I would have liked to come in here. But now it is being replaced by a play pavilion. They haven't really announced a lot of details on it. It's just going to be a very immersive pavilion that's all going to be themed about play. And then right here where Mission Space is now used to be what was a very beloved pavilion. It was Horizons, where the Horizons attraction was. It didn't open with the park, but it opened shortly after in 1983, and this was all about the future. This attraction basically got all of the other pavilions in EPCOT and it combined it into one, and it talked about how we need to use every single one of these pavilions and all these ideas to create our future so that we can live a better life while protecting the earth. Horizons closed in 1999 to make way for Mission Space right here, but Horizons remains one of the most beloved Disney attractions of all time. And here we have Test Track, which was once known as the World of Motion. And I haven't been on a ride today, so how about I go ride Test Track and tell you all about the World of Motion. And one thing that I forgot to mention, each of the old pavilions here in Future World had their own logo. This right here is the old World of Motion logo. There's a lot of these in Test Track, and if you look closely in some of the rides and the attractions here in Future World, you will find some of those old logos. So World of Motion, as you might have guessed, was a pavilion all about transportation. It was a dark ride that featured 30 different scenes that displayed all different types of transportation from its very first steps all the way up to now. The original World of Motion ride was closed in 1996, and it was replaced by the original Test Track, and then that original Test Track was replaced by this Test Track back in 2012. And I think that Test Track is actually one of the best Future World pavilions today in what it was supposed to be. It's supposed to be all about motion and transportation, and you get to design your car in a futuristic way, and you get to learn about the efficiency, power, capability, and responsiveness. And so yeah, I think this is a pretty great pavilion today.
Energizing for power test.
Okay guys, and we only have one more original Future World EPCOT pavilion, and that of course is Spaceship Earth. And the theme of Spaceship Earth is of course all about communication. It takes us in the past all the way from when people in caves were writing communication on the walls, all the way up into when the printing press was invented, and all the way up into when the World Wide Web was created. And you can actually design your own future based on what you like. And there you guys have it. We went all around EPCOT. We went around Future World. I showed you guys the original 9 Future World pavilions. I told you guys about their themes. I told you guys what used to be inside there, what still is in there in some cases. And all of these pavilions shared one theme. Yes, they all might have had their different themes, but at the end of the day, they were all representing the future. How to make the world a better place in the future while incorporating these certain things like imagination, motion, health, food. And I was using that map from 1989/1990 to show you guys these different pavilions. And I feel like that was the peak of EPCOT's Future Worlds. Right now it's kind of having an identity crisis because Future World isn't really representing the future anymore. There's still a few pavilions, don't get me wrong, there's still a few pavilions that are representing the future and how to incorporate their different themes into the future, but for a lot of these pavilions it's not what it does anymore. But EPCOT is changing. Future World is getting a huge revamp, and I hope with the new revamp of Future World they can get back to that old way of thinking, having these themes connect to the future and how we will evolve and change as the years go by. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This has been one of my favorite videos that I've recorded so far. I love going around and showing you guys everything. Shout out to the site called floridaproject.com. It's where I go to see all of the old maps at Walt Disney World as well as the other theme parks in Orlando. Shout out to this website, The Mouselets. It helped me with a little bit of the knowledge of the Future World pavilions. I'll leave links to both of their websites in the description below. So yeah guys, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you haven't seen that Club 33 video that I recorded earlier today, go check that out too. And thank you guys very much for watching. It's kind of fun to do the impossible, and I will see you guys on the next video.